will pull yourself towards the edge. Okay, so this session will be of like how to build your confidence. You can ask your doubts and you can improve yourself. Now I request our secretary, Dr. Ismail Sait, to take over the session.
Very good morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone. Confidence building measures. In fact, only 2 days back, we were talking about this program of motivational session. So I immediately said, let's go with this topic, because it is important that at all times, our confidence level should be high at all times, even at the time of a severe crisis that we are going through now. The whole globe is going through that crisis. So even at this time, everyone's confidence level is important. So before we go into the topic, I have to thank IKLAS for organizing this session. I also have to welcome and thank all the participants. I will request you to remember at this time all the persons who are working towards fighting this coronavirus. It can be from the government, it can be from the health side, it can be from the doctors, the nurse, the security personnel. It can be anyone. It can be the volunteers, it can be the municipal sanitary workers, and all the volunteers, the self-help, the NGOs. We should remember everyone, we should pray for them, and also we should try our best to support them. With this message, I will go into the topic. I have a presentation which I will share now. Okay, I have categorized this presentation under a My ABC program. It's called My ABC program. Brother Rafshal Arif, while I'm in this presentation, it will be difficult for me to see the chat. So you can send me in WhatsApp also. So that will help me.
Okay, inshallah, we will send you.
Yeah. So first and foremost is ask from the Almighty. We all believe that we are created by our Creator, the Almighty. So remembering Him and asking everything from Him matters. So ask from the Almighty is the first message. It can be even with the smallest thing. Now the network is going, what immediately we think, other than the Almighty, we think about everybody else. Even if our slipper strap is cut, we immediately think of a cobbler where we can go and get this slipper, but we don't think of asking the Almighty. So from a very minor thing to anything that is major or important, everything we should ask from the Almighty. I'm not able to understand at this moment what Mr. Ismail Sait is speaking. Ask from the Almighty. Almighty, help me to understand this discussion. This will make you understand even if you are not well versed in the language. So this is the first step in everything. As we Muslims, majority of them, or any other person for the matter, would start everything saying Bismillah Rahman Rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, I start this particular thing. So asking from the Almighty is the first and the important message. Second, believe in the best. Whatever we are doing, we should believe that we are the best creation of the Almighty. We are the best and we will have the best. So it can be even the course that we are choosing. It can be the dress we are choosing. It need not be expensive. Let me clarify. Best doesn't mean expensive. Best doesn't mean the best brand. Best means in the quality, it has the best results provided. For example, a pen, the best is it has to write. We need not have a Mont Blanc pen and say we need to have a Mont Blanc pen only then, which costs more than 10,000 rupees onwards. But a 3 rupee or a 5 rupee pen, if it writes with the legible quality, then it is the best. The dress that we wear, whatever it is, even one piece of cloth, because I have to, in the meantime, I will be saying some of my experiences and the lessons I learned. When I was a young boy, let's say when I was in a 7th or 8th standard, my father used to take me to many places. At one point, my dress was white and it was shabby. It was with dirt. I told my father, I'm not coming inside, you go. He told me, father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, with only 2 pieces of cloth, traveled the globe, met the king and queen of all the countries, the prime minister and presidents, and he got his independence, but still he had only those 2 pieces of cloth. That was a big message. So believing in the best doesn't mean believing in the best brand, but believing in the best results from any product that we are using. Third point, communicate with confidence. When we talk about communication, even in this course, I want to say language could be an issue. Many people would not be understanding a fluent English, but that doesn't matter. Communicating is making people understand what one is trying to say. So I have an important responsibility today to ensure that I speak clearly and I try to communicate to the listeners a message. Now, that message can be in the form of my oral talking, or it can be like the presentation that I have given. So in case my message of oral conversation is not clear, people could use the content that I have shown in the display, which I will also send to the organizers, who can in turn send this to all the participants. They can understand by making a note of this and then knowing what this means. Don't worry about that you are not able to understand things fully. The first step is to start the process of learning, which will give us the confidence. But if the first step is to say, I don't know, then your confidence level will only go to the negative side. So communicate with confidence. Whatever you want to say, don't worry that you will be using right or wrong words. Don't worry about anything. I want to say another incident that happened to me when in my class 6th or 8th in Dindigul, or I think 10th standard, I don't remember. When I came back from Chennai to study in Dindigul, there was a chemistry teacher with whom I was supposed to interact, or I think an English teacher with whom I was supposed to interact. There was a sentence where I have to say the word embarrassed. EMBARRASSED, embarrassed, which means I am shy. I am feeling shy, that I am not able to talk in English. You know what word I used? I used the word embraced. EMBRASED. The meaning is totally the opposite. Embarrassed means I am feeling shy. Embraced, I am feeling embraced, means I want to hug you. I want to embrace you. So the meaning was totally the opposite. But it gave me the learning willpower that no, I'm making mistakes. I have to correct it and learn. So I'm going to my next 3 alphabet contents. Develop determination. What is determination? Yes, with the help of Almighty, I can do it. That confidence level is the determination. So you have to develop that determination. Everything should be approached positively. I'm going to learn a subject which is for me a new subject, very difficult according to my all these years of study. For example, somebody who's done till 12th standard and has only scored 40 to 50% in marks, but when they go into college, the same subject somehow comes back. But that doesn't stop you from learning that subject at that point. So what is important is, if I decide, no, I don't know maths, I am very poor, I only scored 50%, So I think I'm going to fail in this. Then your first step is not positive. What is required is, yes, inshallah, with the grace of Almighty, I will achieve it. That determination is important. Empower with education. Empower is a very strong word. There are many, you can attribute many things. Empower with wealth. People will say, I am powerful because I have a lot of money. People will say, I am powerful because I have a strong body. But those are all temporary. It will perish at any point. But if you are empowering yourself with education and knowledge, that will be with you. That will be with you. Nobody can remove that from you. Next is fear no failure. Fear no failure. Failure will come. But that doesn't stop you from, trying again. So fear no failure. Next, when I was trying to write, what do I write for G? Then I thought, confidence building starts from helping others. Give to have. If you want to have confidence, if you want to have good skills, if you want to have something like knowledge or even wealth for that matter, you first have to give. For you to give, what you are having will make you have or get what you want. For example, now even when it comes to helping others by knowledge, now I understand most of us have completed 12th standard and we are now in our further studies. You can start giving knowledge to classes 6th to 12th. This you can give. Nobody is stopping you. Now this closure time, there are many people who want this knowledge by way of WhatsApp, by way of some tuition. You can give. Whenever we talk about giving, people first think, I don't have. You have. Whatever you have, many people don't have. So you should start giving whatever you have to really have what you need. So give to have. Next is honesty. People say honesty is the best policy, but honesty is always the best policy. Even at any stress-based times, even at any testing times, even let it be an exam, let it be in appearing for an online quiz where you are the master, nobody is going to see you. You're trying to be a good children to your parents. Now, honesty will help you overcome all calamities. Whatever is the nature of the calamity, honesty will help you. So honesty is always the best policy. For I have put information in need. What is the need of the hour when we talk about confidence building is information. How we use information, how do we search information is a challenge, but information is the need of the hour. We have to go in search of seeking new information. If you think that I have known a subject after 45 minutes or 2 hours, I have the information about some subject, then I think you're making a mistake. That is the key to open the door for further knowledge that is lying behind the doors. So information in need should be always reflecting in your mind. I need more information. I need more information. That is a step for confidence building. Is the information relevant to you, not relevant to you? You don't decide. But if you get that information, take it. We come across some information, some people telling us, why don't you start making in your own food? For example, making a cup of tea. How many of us, including me, know to make a good tea? We don't know. But we think that is not required, that information is not required to me, but we will regret later. For J, I have put judge yourself first before judging others. This is very, very important to build our confidence. Sometimes, if we don't do this properly, then we will become overconfident, which is a negative, which will lead to disaster. Confidence building measures is a positive, but being overconfident is negative. For that, you need to judge yourself in terms of what do I know? What do I don't know? We call it SWOT analysis. What is your strength? What is your weakness? What are the opportunities available in front of you? If you don't take that opportunities, if you don't improve your weakness, what is the threat? What is the issue that you are going to face? So judge yourself first. Knowledge, no boundaries. This is relevant in similar to what we spoke earlier. But without boundaries, you need to go. For example, you are living in the city. We think only the city culture can teach us. No, the village will teach more survival skills than anybody else. This is a statement we all will agree. Today's food habits to improve our immunity, today's lifestyle habits to improve our immunity, you don't get from the urban areas. You get from people living in the rural areas. If I have a lifestyle of a farmer, if I have the lifestyle of a farmer, I can be more healthier than if I have a lifestyle of a person living in the city. So knowledge knows no boundaries. Then again, for L, I have put learn to teach, for oneself to really learn. Only when you start teaching, you will really learn any subject. This is very simple. The more I take the effort of teach somebody else, the more I will get accustomed, or more my mind will become tuned to learn more, to understand more. So learning to teach is important. This is another important confidence building measure that I always say to everyone. Manage time. We don't have time is a common statement we all. Why we didn't complete the assignment? We don't have time. I was busy. The problem for everyone is everybody has only 24 hours a day. But how each one of us uses the 24 hours differs from person to person. So unless you know how to manage time, you cannot manage anything else. So time is something, this second I'm not going to get it back, we all know. But what did I do in this second? Did I spend in some wasteful activity, or did I spend in some productive activity? So unless we know to manage time, we cannot manage our skills, we cannot manage our abilities. Next is never give up. Never give up. When we are taught something, when we try to understand something, in case we don't understand, we immediately give up and go to something else. This is you will see the quiz program, they will say, okay, I don't know this question, let's pass to the next question. Like that, we start passing our opportunities, passing our time, just because I don't want to take the extra minute to understand that particular point, take the extra effort to know that subject. We immediately give up. Next one is own yourself. What is own yourself? Own yourself. We are the best of creation of the Almighty. We are the best of creation of the Almighty. We are called the Almighty's vicegerent in the world. Vicegerent means trustee. We are termed in the Holy Quran that I have made the human being as my vicegerent in this world. We are the representative of the Almighty. So we are such a best creation of the Almighty. Our abilities may differ to individual, but we are the best. So we should start taking that ownership of ourselves first. Yes, I am created as the best creation. I have been given all the abilities, and it is left to me, how do I use it? Next, I can also attribute another parameter. Own yourself means take the responsibility. Don't pass the excuse or blame to the others. You own it first. Yes, I did that mistake. Anyone who volunteers in taking his responsibility will, will always fear no failure. He will not be worried about the next failure that he will be facing. He'll be ready to take up that responsibility. So there are two things to this. Own yourself means you have to believe that Almighty has created you in all the best form and has given all the skills, and also to take ownership of our actions. Next, these three very important confidence building tips. PQR, I normally term this like ABC, where I said, ask the Almighty, believe in the best, communicate with confidence. Then I give importance to these three things. PQR, prepare to perform. So what we need to do in terms of preparation will help us to perform. Now, in the spiritual angle, what we prepare ourselves in this world will be our performance in the world hereafter. What we study in our class, that is the preparation for us to perform in the exams. How we prepare ourselves to attend an interview will help us to perform in that interview. For every performance, for everything, you need preparation. For a good food, you need the right preparation, which has the right ingredients, the right recipe. Without that, how can you make a good biryani or good pizza for that matter? You need to prepare oneself to perform better. So this is a very powerful statement. Another statement is quality in quantity. We talk about quality. Yes, whatever we do, it should be the best quality. But that has to be in quantity. It has to continue. It has to sustain. I am good in my writing skills. I am good in my math skills. Okay, that is good. You are developing some good quality aspects, but that has to be in volume. That has to continue. You need to improve that. You need to add more of that quality knowledge that you are having. So quality should be in quantity. Respect it to respect you. See, this is a statement that I thought and wrote. You are a student. You have to respect being a student for really being successful as a student. Or let me put it this way. Only when you respect others, people will respect you. This we commonly agree. But put the same statement to every lifestyle issues. Now, your health is important. Now, the biggest health parameter today in this COVID issue is immunity. Immunity in your body will determine the impact of that COVID virus. If you have a good immunity, the less impact you have. If your immunity level is very poor, the more impact you will have. Now, for the human body to have immunity, Almighty has created every human body with the best immunity system. But what happens? People, over the period of their lifestyle issues, of their food issues, and many other issues, are responsible for losing their immunity. Now, if you have to respect immunity, then you have to start following up best exercise, best food. Then the body will respect you in terms of giving its immunity. So in every statement, in everything, you remember this statement. I am a student. I am going to attend this class. How respectful you are there in the class. It doesn't mean folding your hands or bowing yourself. No, this is not respect I am talking about. Doing justice to the activity that we have taken. I have to spend 30 minutes in this session. So I have decided to spend 30 minutes. Let me respect the time. What I'm going to do in this 30 minutes. As a result, the content or knowledge will be what you will be getting. That will start respecting you. So you put this PQR in many situations and you will get many answers. Sacrifice to succeed. We know that. Only people, we look at all the successful people, we want to listen to their speeches. From Abdul Kalam, our past president, to an IPS officer like our respectful Sailandra Babu sir, or an IAS officer that we know. You know the sacrifice they have done in their life to come to this level? We are very fortunate. Most of us are very fortunate. They were not so fortunate. We might read, we can read that how our past president, when he was a student, when he was a young boy, used to throw newspapers or collect newspapers, which was thrown from the train and distribute to each of the house. We read it as a statement, as a news. But for us to really understand that sacrifice, we have to do that job. Only then we will know the difficulty or the amount of pain one has gone through. How did all our successful IAS and IPS officers become officers today? They all went through tough situations in their life. There have been circumstances where they had only one meal in the day. We are very fortunate today. We don't have that type of hunger as an issue or poverty as an issue. If you rewind 20 to 30 years back, all these are successful persons that you are pointing fingers at today have come up from very basic, very hardworking, very poor environment. That talks about the lesson in their life, which is the sacrifice. Another important confidence building measures, or something that stops one from getting confidence, is the anger factor. So we need to terminate anger. We need to terminate anger. Anger can be in any form. In a mildest form of saying, I don't want to learn today. I don't want to attend this session today. It's a result of anger. Anger against something, or it could be a different version of anger. That mildest part to the strongest part of physically getting angry. And unless we inbuild the habit of terminating or removing this anger, we cannot have a healthy environment where we will really get accumulate knowledge or know things. So terminating anger is something we should think. Understanding the understood. Okay, in every class we hear this word, have you understood? We simply say, yes, I have understood, or without even understanding, we will say, yes, okay, sir, I have understood, sir. But the word understood, first we have to understand that. So understanding the word understood. This looks a little like a jargon, like, some repetitive style words. No. For me to understand something, I need to understand the person who is communicating, the subject he is communicating, and why it is important to me. Forget about all the technical maths or political science or English. Don't worry about that. That comes later. But first, understanding the subject, the importance of, let's say, language, importance of maths, importance of political science is the first important step. Then understanding the person who's trying to communicate that to you. He has a lot of problems. He has to teach 100 people in a 2-hour session. The 100 people could have 100 different levels of understanding. So he has to address everyone. So you first understand his problem. So many things go into that. Last 5 words. Victory after sacrifice. We have spoken about this. People talk about victory, but that is only after sacrifice. Next, important word when it comes to building our vocabulary, war with words. War with words. There are many books available. There are many materials available where you can build your vocabulary. Nobody carries a dictionary today. Okay, the phone is a dictionary, but how many of us are using the dictionary instantly when we are hearing some new words? Or how many of us are trying to use new words in our conversation? I told you how I learned the real meaning of the word embarrassed from using the wrong word embraced, embracing. So unless I put myself in different situations and try to learn new words, your vocabulary cannot improve, your language skills cannot improve. So war with words means you have to really fight with the language and you have to win the war. So you have to take it in that spirit. Xerox happiness, youth with care, zeal others' life are all what you can contribute to others. As I said, best confidence building steps are when you start giving to others, when you start sharing others the happiness. Best happiness, first person whom we all owe our happiness is to our parents. If we don't make them happy and we make all others happy, from friends to unknown strangers, what is the use of that? First, people who gave you happiness, you have to give them back happiness. Actually, Xerox, I took the word for X, but that actual word is photocopy. Xerox is the name of a company. I used it here because that's the word I could use. Everybody knows that. Take a Xerox copy. Xerox is a company who made photocopiers. So Xerox happiness, and everybody is gifted with youth. The most powerful part of your life is your youth life, which we are all now. Most of the participants are in that life cycle. It has to be handled with care. Unless you channel it properly, the rest of your life will be determined by that. If in this time you take a deviation and go into the wrong path, the rest of your life is going to be determined by that, and you are only going to have what you sow now is what you will reap later. Last part is zeal. Zeal means again happiness. Zeal others' life. Be more interested in helping others, and you will get help from not from the same person, but from many other people. So these are all some of the tips of confidence building measures that I have just listed out as my ABC. My ABC stands for manage your abilities for better career. Now I will send this inshallah to our organizers, who will in turn send it to the other participants. Since Brother Rafsal has said we will have some questions, can I use this 10 minutes for that? Yeah, can we have some questions? Yeah, I have in the chat box. Yeah, I have a question. How to become disciplined? How to control our thought? There are many distractions in our surrounding. Yes, you are very right. There are many distractions. In fact, the present distraction is all the news channel for the present COVID issue. Though there are some good information, but there are very negative information also. So how do you get how to avoid distraction is by focusing yourself. You have to remind yourself every minute and every hour what I need to achieve. What is my goal? What I need to focus. So if you get that message in front of you, you will avoid whatever is around you. So that should be for all the good things, starting from your prayer, starting from spiritually involving yourself and empowering you with knowledge and all the other parameters that I was just saying. So focusing on our goals will make us less distracted from what is happening around us. What should we do to treat both win and lose equally? I don't get that question clearly. What should we do to treat both win and lose equally? I think you can elaborate that. I'll go to the next question. Is this possible? A man could do all this A to Z. If it is possible, how? More than this is what is possible. I have only said very basic things. Now, if you just start practicing these things, meaning what you are doing is what I have listed out. You are praying your Fajr prayers, you are praying all your prayers. So when I say ask from Almighty, you are already doing that. But what is more important is to ensure that first Almighty comes to our mind when we want something. When we are having a problem, we have to come out of that. So when I say believe in the best, you are already doing that. You have taken the best course, best institution, but you should work on improving your association with all the other best things. Give us tips to hold long the concentration on track. There are many questions scrolling, so I'll try to answer. Rafsal, if you have any message to me, you can send it in the chat. In the IOFC group. Yeah, it would be, what should we do? Okay. Relatives compare others, so I'm really disturbed and very angry. Terminate anger. Don't become angry. First, you start from that best practice. Relatives compare others. You see, this happens. See, I am a father of, my son is now in second year. So as a father, I will tell him, look, you have to achieve more. You have to become a good architect. He's doing architecture. See, I am, as a father, what I'm trying to say is, you benchmark others for best practices so that you can improve your efficiency. But my son would think, no, you are comparing others. So for good things, when you are being compared with others, I think you should take it positively. Sir, give us tips to hold long the concentration on track. Keep reminding yourself why you have joined this course. This is a foundation course for further IAS studies, for further UPSC studies. Keep reminding of that message, so your concentration would become focused. How to be motivated always as UPSC requests, and second, to get not distracted while studying. I think I have told you. See, you need to set your priorities, your goals first, and keep reminding yourself about that always, so that no amount of distraction, if it comes, it can distract you. We get distracted because we are ready to be distracted. If we say, I cannot be distracted by a phone call, I cannot be distracted by what is happening, then you will not be distracted. You program your mind in such a manner that I will listen only to the positive points. I will ignore all the negative points. I will focus and complete this task. So as you speak to yourself, program, that becomes a practice. Can you give some tips of control the emotions? See, emotions is a big word. What emotions? Negative emotions can be won only by positive messages. We are hearing many negative information around us. But what is the positive to that negative information? You immediately think like that. Okay, now there are many deaths due to COVID. This is a big impact to us, both in terms of psychologically being affected. But you should immediately think what I can do in my level to ensure that more fatalities don't happen. What positive steps I can do? You're not a doctor, you are at your house, but still what you can do? I can spread some awareness. So from any negative information that you see around, you try to make it into a positive activity. I am working and studying. Few days I am crossed the age. And what is the need to study now? I am now 29 years now. Brother, I am 46. I think I am 47 years now. And I have a lot to study. I have never thought I have completed my studies. All my family members say, you have completed your PhD, what more? I have listed some courses that I need to study. But that is possible only when you think that I have to study more. I have to learn more. I have to know more. I have to increase my knowledge. So only with that attitude, you can remove that. You can remove the feeling that I know everything. So age is just a number, or you could say I'm 29 years or I'm 47. Do I know what a 10-year-old student today knows? If you ask that question, there are many things that I don't know. It is true. A 10-year-old today will know more information that I don't know. How to manage these much subjects, sir? Why still interest-free banking is not official in India? I think this is it's my specialized subject, not relevant to this topic, but still I will answer that. Interest-free banking is not official, but it does not stop us from practicing interest-free business practices. So we all, the students here who are going to become, the aspirants here who are going to become future IAS, should take an intention to take a strong goal setting that yes, we should bring interest-free banking in the regulatory system. How to manage these much subjects, sir? How to manage these much subjects? One person has asked this 3 times. First, don't think this is a heavy subject. You know, how much weight can I lift? Is determined by the thought of how much weight you can lift. If I decide I can lift 50 kgs, I cannot lift more than 40 kgs. If I decide, no, I can lift 100 kgs, I can lift up to 90 kgs. If I think this is too many, if the subjects are too much, you cannot even complete one subject. You don't decide on the volume that is in front of you. You immediately think that yes, I am gifted with a lot of abilities and I can complete this. Even if you don't complete 100%, don't worry, you will complete at least 60% if you have this attitude. Otherwise, if you think these are too many subjects, I cannot study this 2 hours of continuous session, you will not even study 30%. It is the positive mind that will determine the amount of knowledge you will get. Sorry, sir, few people say I have crossed the age for this exam. See, unless the UPSC or the government says this is the age limit, you don't worry about what others are saying. While plan to study any subject, I'm getting confused of those things like from where to start. As a fresher, I'm still confused. Some tips to overcome from this confusion. See, where to start is to start from things that you know in that subject. You see, we all crossed our 10th, 12th, and even our other exams. The best advice for overcoming the stress of exams is to write first what you know, or attend the questions that you know. It can be from any section in that question paper, A, B, C, D. You first address what you know. This itself gives you the confidence to write the other part, what you think you know only 50%. So where to start is to start from things you know. But as I said earlier, don't worry, don't get the message in your mind that I don't know these things, so I cannot, it will be difficult for me to learn this. Time management tips. First, when you say that, I think I have time till 12 o'clock, Rafsal. What is the time I have? I think I am reminded by Brother Arif. I have the message. So it is only till 12, which means I have already reached my time. So I won't be taking more time. Time management is know the time what is available and manage it. I will take only the questions that are in display, 4 or 5 questions. Sir, along with the UPSC course, I'm also doing my second MSc. So I don't have proper focus. Please help me in this regard. Why do you think that you are not in focus? Please remove that thought. You are knowing 2 different subjects at the same time. What you need for your second year MSc, I don't know what subject you are talking. What you need for that, you prepare, you write down what you need to do to complete that second MSc studies. You on the other side plan what you need for this UPSC course. Don't take too many courses at the same time. That is our mistake, and we will end up in confusion. But if it is manageable, then I think with proper planning, it can be done. Sir, please say how to improve our language skills without conversation with others, because no one here to talk. Why are you saying no one here to talk? I think this gives us an important message. I will discuss with our IKLAS team to make a session where you can talk with others. Then that part I can do. But you should take the initiative of calling your friend and talking to him in English. You should take you have so many friends. So, but what you do is, when you don't worry about the language, you only want to talk. But do the opposite. You talk to him to improve your language. So you will have many people to talk. But don't feel shy. You will make mistakes. If that person is somebody who's pointing out your mistakes, don't worry. Those are the critics, or the criticism that you give, or like stones being thrown at you. You collect them and build a strong foundation. I am working now, I can't read anything thoroughly, but due to COVID situation, I got a lot of free times. Even though I got it, I don't know why I can't study. See, you have the question, you have the answer. You have time, but you can't study. I think there is a problem that you have to change yourself. If people say I am working, I don't have the time, then it is different. You say you got a lot of free time, but still you are not able to study. I think some reorientation. You start early. See, the day should start with the earliest time, 5 a.m. For our Fajr prayers, or even for others, it should start that early. The programming, or the best mind, the best thought process takes place from that time. How much hours sleep is required for IAS aspiration? That your body, the rest that your body needs is the time you need. What is the minimum time of a healthy sleep? 5 hours, 6 hours is more than sufficient. But there are people with even only 4 hours, but still they are. So the quality of that 4 hour or 5 hour sleep matters than sleeping of 10 hours and 8 hours and still getting up tired. So there is a sleep therapy technique, but minimum time is the rest that you need. That 4 to 5 hours is a quality time. No more questions. Please don't type any more questions. I'll complete with whatever is there. Sir, I can easily convey my thoughts in written, but I'm struggling to convey my thoughts in oral way. Don't think that you cannot communicate. If you are good in writing, first write it down, but then you try to speak it out. Without, coming out of that blockade, mental blockade, that if I speak, people will think I don't know English. Don't worry about that. I told you my experience. Even today, I might make mistakes. I used the extreme negative word, but that made me learn new words. You know what the teacher did? Initially, she was angry with me, but then she corrected me. So you will have a lot of such good teachers. Don't worry about. Only when you open up and speak, you will. The learning of language takes place. Somebody says 7 hours of sleep. I said that depends. I said I know people who are only sleeping 4 to 5 hours and being more successful. So 5 or 6 or 7 depends. Sir, I am somewhat bad in English. Can we use Tamil during interview of UPSC? See, if it is a Tamil session, then it is Tamil. If it is an English session, you need to plan, you need to prepare yourself to present yourself in English. Don't, as I said, if you want to learn English, you have to first, make up your mind that I even, every word that I speak has to be in English. Only if that attitude comes, we will overcome all the barriers. Thank you very much. I think I have to close with this because I have shot up by 5 minutes. Jazakallah khair. Um, uh, so let's be very positive. Let's ask everything from the Almighty. Let's work very hard and let's improve our confidence level. Thank you. Jazakallah khair.